Daphne quite some time ago, but while she was here, she had two beautiful babies with Vrindaban. This is her first one in 1981. Can't really remember where these. I'm thinking it was probably at the first clinic. Looked about a year, and then she had her son in 1982. And then, I didn't know about this one until we started doing this. Megan Mully had her last son in WVU? Yes. In the hospital. Because she had some complications. That was probably a hard thing to go to the hospital after having all your babies here. And then that. You didn't like it. Because you're probably used to doing what you wanted to do. There's so many rules. There's so many rules. And this is, can't really see her too well, but in the background there, in the middle picture is Mother Manindra, who, there was a period of time when Nick, after he came here in '79, that he left, probably from fall of 1980 until February of '83, so I was here by myself and I needed to get some helpers to help me. So Manindra had some experience. I think she lived in Hawaii and California. So she came and became one of the midwife helpers and actually delivered some babies on her own. These are her two children. Who are now out. Vijay, which was born, you got the birthdays up there. I delivered him, and then Tulsi Ananda was born in the house that they were living down in Viola at the time. He was a premature baby, the one on the right, and he was, shortly after his birth, his mom brought him to the hospital, so he was having some breathing trouble because he was premature. And he ended up getting transferred to WVU. That's the only baby that was ever transferred. And this is our illustrious Dharma Prabhu, Vijay Priya, with their first son. All of their children were born up in the house that now Mother Lajabadi and Siddhana Prabhu live in. That was the Sankirtan house. And it was very well run. I remember this birth just because Dharma Prabhu was present at all of his births except for one that he was in India with. But I remember him kind of pacing back and forth with the door closed when Vijay Priya was in labor, kind of wanting to come in, but just, and finally he said, everybody says, Srila Prabhupada said that a man should not be present when his wife is giving birth. And I hadn't read much. So I said, I never read that. So then, that's all he needed, and he came in, hands on. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. And I've been corresponding with Vijay, and I said, there was so much social pressure not to be there, because that's just the way it was in those days. But the men that were there and formed that early bond with their children, I think that bond is a lifelong bond. And I was very glad to have him be a part of that. And he ended up getting a very big family. And this one was born in 1982. This is the one that he missed. He was in India. Dritavrata. He did have, unfortunately, he had no mental problem. Nothing wrong with him except that he did have a physical deformity that was later fixed by surgery. He had a cleft lip and a cleft palate. So he was transferred to the hospital just because we wanted to make sure that nothing else was wrong with him, and then we had to do some special feeding things for him. But he's now, you'll see the picture, he's now a strong young man. It looks fine. And this is their last boy together, Devala, that was born in '87. And there's Vijay there after he had to have a series of surgeries. There's his first one. This is Premanjana, who was Pradhan Gopika's daughter. And Dhruva. That was their last one together. And this is Pradhan Gopika. She had two sons and one daughter. These are the two boys. Read. What do you say? Read the music.
3 days apart, so pretty much
Good observation. They were both 3 days apart. This is Rock Talker, her last baby that was born in 1985. And this is all 7 of them. The first boy is Parthasarji. He was with Richard Gere when she first came. And then we have Pradana's, the only girl, Pradana's Premandana. And then her, I think that one's her son, and that one down there is her son. And then the other 2 boys are Dwidges. So they ended up raising 7 children when Pradana turned her children over to them. They have quite a few. Oh, this is Chairaj. Nikesh, Nevis, Lita Rita. This is her one and only child. And we had the unusual circumstance of actually having, we didn't have that many people, but we had 2 people in labor at the same time. This is in the last clinic, which is now the wellness center. We had Mahashakti in labor with her daughter, and then we had her in labor. And we thought, well, we can do this. We had 2 rooms, we go back and forth, back and forth. But then it appeared that this baby was not in a good position to be born, and things just stalled. And she had previously met Dr. Vincent. In fact, Dr. Vincent was from New Zealand, as was Leela Rita. They hit it off fine. He wanted to adopt her, so she already knew him. And her mother was also here. We didn't really want anything bad going down in front of a grandparent. I think she was the only grandparent that had ever come to witness a birth. So we're like, we'll go to Dr. Vincent. And she was in labor, but we got her there, and he opened up this old pair of forceps that he hadn't used in 20 years. And he said, there's a story that goes along with this midwife and me. And we're like, we don't want to hear this story. And he had to do with these instruments, turn the baby in such a way that the baby could be born. But her poor mom had she's passed on, rest her soul, a wonderful woman. And she had a touch of Parkinson's, which is something that kind of makes you shake. Well, as she was watching Dr. Vincent, poor lady, because it's not a pleasant thing to watch these things being done. And I've seen many a dad faint, And so she was shaking, but then when it came time towards the end there, she just kind of swooned a bit, and thank goodness it fell in my arms. But the baby came out fine, and now we're working on the 3rd generation with him. So this is Lena Rita and her mom when she was visited at another time, standing in front of the lake. Lovely lady. And that's Lena Rita and her son in her home country of New Zealand, where she is now, unfortunately. I don't think she ever had any more children. And the upper right figure there is the adult Chairaj with his dad, Muktikesh. And then on the left are the 2 babies that were born the same day. The left is Mangala, Mahashakti and Brahma's daughter. And on the right is Chairaj. Must have been about 3 or 4.
And they were inseparable from the time they were born.
Isn't that something?
They were like,
I saw this picture, then I forgot that they were born the same day.
Who's on the left?
Pardon me?
Who's on the left, the child?
The 2 children that were born the same day. The girl is Mangal Arti, Mahashakti Brahma's daughter, and then the boy is Chairaj.
I delivered her baby. We were
Mahashakti.
in the back room.
you guys were exhausted.
But your daughter did just what Rosa did. She did a backflip when she came out. Back and flipped over.
Oh, look at this beautiful young woman.
That was her.
And so, Lakshmi was born in the barn,
I love it.
and I wonder why she got that. You had already started doing Sankirtan, and that's why she got that name. And Mother Prina delivered her, and Katila.
Little 10-year-old mama.
Bob. Who later became a nurse? I found out. So this was Sudanam and Lajavadi's firstborn, Lakshmi, born in the barn. And then we have Sid, born in 1979, after the palace opening. And he was born in we call clinic number 1.
It was amazing because
Mom, she looks so beautiful.
I got to
She still is.
I got to stay a week at the
She
farm.
reminded me yesterday, it was so nice, because we did keep that room mostly for birthing. It was so nice because they had their own bathroom. Who wants to share a bathroom, you know? But we said, these women work so hard. I mean, they're working up until the day they give birth. They go back, sometimes the same day they give birth. If not, they're expected to be there in Mongol Arctic the next morning. We want them to have 1 week where they just can relax and be with their baby, work on, you know, whatever you need to do, and have someone else take care of your other kids. And it lasted for a few births, and then Bhakti Pod found out about it. 7 days is way too long. They get 3. If they're lucky. And I said to her, I wish I stood up to him because he did sometimes listen to me about that kind of stuff. But how beautiful, how beautiful. All your pictures are beautiful. And look at Yogi. And he was born in the utility, in your room in the utility building. Me and Prime. And Yogi, I'm not going to talk about general clinic stuff, just because there's not enough time, but Yogi had a distinct, I don't know what you want to say. He never went anywhere to get it, but he got typhoid fever. And we used to say this was like working in a third world country. We had typhoid fever, we had malaria, Samba got malaria, hepatitis twice, parasites, candidiasis, shigellosis, you name it, we had it. And I think one of the things, and I understand the purification process, but what we found out and later tried to change was that as soon as someone came off the boat or got here, where's the very first place they go? The pits! Go get the salad ready, you know, you're not initiated. You do the salad, you do all the raw stuff, and no one had warm water or soap to wash their hands with. So we made an institution, we made a rule that, okay, well, before the kids got into the nursing school, or before they got, you know, they had to give us certain samples, and we sent them away to the health department to make sure they didn't have this and that, because all it takes is one kid, and which we found out. So anyway, this poor kid he was losing weight, and we're like, oh, geez, you know, then he'd get better, he'd wax and wane, remember, it seemed like he's getting better. Then
3 years old.
he was only 3, so he didn't have that much weight to lose. Finally, we said, we can't figure this out. We're going to send him to Morgantown. Thank God we did. And typhoid fever, because I guess what, you had gone to India and come back? Because where did he get it from?
He got it just in the temple.
He did? Oh, okay. I wonder if they found out. But then poor Mother Lajavadi got it while she was there taking care of him. Yeah.
And she almost died, really.
Oh, no, that's because with infants and young children, the highest percentage of their weight is water. So when you've got, you know,
And then I thought,
I know, it's amazing. At least it didn't become an epidemic.